Welcome back to Throttle Tribe. The 1970s were a wild time when Japanese engineers built motorcycles that modern brands wouldn't even dare to create today. These machines were bold experiments on two wheels, fast, fearless, and decades ahead of their time. From six-cylinder beasts to rotary-powered rockets, here are 12 Japanese bikes from the 70s that make today's motorcycles look like toys. Starting our list at number 12, the Yamaha RD400. This little two-stroke demon is living proof that modern four-strokes can feel a bit tame compared to the wild machines of the past. Yamaha poured everything they learned from the racetrack into the RD400, creating a street bike that was essentially a Grand Prix racer with headlights and turn signals. Its power-to-weight ratio was nothing short of insane, a lightweight missile that could embarrass bikes twice its size while weighing less than most of today's sport machines. And that sound, oh, that glorious sound. Modern bikes, muffled by catalytic converters and strict noise regulations, don't even come close. The RD's raw, crackling two-stroke scream was music for anyone who loves motorcycles. Handling, it was telepathic. No traction control, no ABS, no computer interference. Just pure mechanical feedback that connected rider to road with every vibration and throttle twist. The RD400 didn't just ride for you, it taught you how to ride. Sure, today's sport bikes are faster in a straight line, but they're also heavier, more complex, and often less involving. The RD400 was simple, brutal, and endlessly fun, the kind of bike that demanded respect and rewarded skill. It's a reminder that motorcycles were once about adrenaline and emotion, not just lap times and electronics. The Yamaha RD400 proves that sometimes less technology means more excitement. Number 11, Suzuki GT 750 Water Buffalo, the liquid-cooled pioneer. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more unbeatable motorcycle reviews and deals. The Suzuki GT 750, affectionately known as the Water Buffalo, or Kettle in the UK, was nothing short of revolutionary. At a time when nearly every manufacturer was still clinging to air-cooled engines, Suzuki took a bold leap forward and brought liquid cooling to mainstream motorcycling. They looked at the persistent issue of overheating in high-performance two-strokes and said, let's just add a radiator. A simple idea, but one that completely changed the game. While other manufacturers struggled to keep their engines cool, Suzuki riders enjoyed smooth, consistent power and improved reliability. The 739cc two-stroke triple-cylinder engine delivered a surprisingly refined ride, offering both strong mid-range torque and an exhaust note that made it unforgettable. And here's what's truly impressive. Modern adventure and touring bikes are only now catching up to the cooling efficiency and ride comfort that Suzuki achieved way back in 1972. The GT 750 proved that true innovation doesn't always come from the biggest brands or the most obvious ideas. It comes from those willing to take risks. This bike featured technologies that wouldn't become industry standards until decades later. Liquid cooling, front disc brakes, and a power delivery that even some modern bikes struggle to replicate. Today, manufacturers spend millions developing complex cooling and management systems, yet few match the simplicity and effectiveness of Suzuki's 50-year-old design. Sometimes the smartest engineering isn't about reinventing the wheel, it's about having the vision to do the obvious thing before anyone else dares to. Number 10, the Honda CB 400F Supersport. This little gem proves that you don't need massive displacement to achieve motorcycle perfection. While everyone else in the 1970s was obsessed with bigger, heavier engines, Honda decided to take a different path, creating a four-cylinder masterpiece that redefined what a middleweight motorcycle could be. 4 cylinders in a 400cc package? Modern manufacturers would call that impossible, but Honda made it work with engineering precision that still amazes experts today. The CB400F's engine was so smooth it felt like it was carved from silk, revving effortlessly past 9,000 RPM and delivering a beautifully linear power curve that made it a joy to ride. And the styling? Absolutely stunning. That iconic swooping 4-into-1 exhaust, clean lines, perfect proportions, and minimalist design made it look like it had rolled in from the future. Even today, it stands as one of the most elegant and balanced designs in motorcycle history. The CB400F proved that sophistication doesn't require size, It requires intelligence and vision. While many modern four-cylinder bikes are heavier, more complex, and often less refined, this 40-year-old masterpiece remains a benchmark for balance, performance, and pure mechanical beauty. Honda didn't just build a bike, they built a statement, proof that when you chase perfection instead of marketing trends, you create something truly timeless. Number 9. The Kawasaki Z1 900. This is what happens when engineers decide that Honda's CB750 just isn't powerful enough. Kawasaki looked at Honda's revolutionary four-cylinder and said, hold our sake. Then they built something even more incredible. 900cc of pure, unfiltered fury. Released in 1972, the Z1 wasn't just fast, it redefined performance. It produced around 82 horsepower, reaching speeds over 130 miles per hour. Numbers that left most cars in the dust. The acceleration was savage, 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 4 seconds, and it kept pulling until you ran out of courage, or rode. And that sound, a raw, mechanical symphony of 4 cylinders screaming in perfect harmony. Modern bikes with their emissions filters and quiet exhausts sound like whispers compared to the Z1's thunderous roar. But the Z1 wasn't just about brute force. It handled beautifully, with near-perfect weight distribution and a chassis that inspired confidence. Its power delivery was both thrilling and surprisingly controllable, proof that Kawasaki engineers weren't just chasing speed, they were creating balance. This bike taught the world that Japanese manufacturers weren't imitators, they were innovators. The Z1 900 became the benchmark for performance motorcycles and the foundation of the superbike era. Modern superbikes may be faster on paper, but they rely on electronic aids to stay manageable. The Z1, on the other hand, needed only raw engineering genius and a brave rider. It proves that pure talent and mechanical mastery can outshine computer assistance every single time. Number 8. The legendary Honda CB750. This is the motorcycle that changed everything, the one that made every other manufacturer scramble to catch up. Before the CB750, motorcycles were notorious for being unreliable, oil-leaking, temperamental machines that broke down as often as they ran. Then Honda came along and said, not anymore. They built a bike that actually worked, and worked flawlessly. The CB750 featured an inline 4-cylinder engine, a single overhead camshaft, front disc brake, and an electric starter, technologies that were groundbreaking in 1969 and set a new benchmark for the entire industry. Its reliability was unmatched. While British and American bikes left riders stranded on the side of the road, Honda owners were out enjoying the open highway. And the performance? Remarkable. The CB750 could cruise comfortably at highway speeds all day without complaint, something that was almost unthinkable before Honda perfected the formula. The CB750 proved that motorcycles could be both thrilling and dependable. Modern bikes may be faster, smarter, and packed with electronics, but they're also heavier, more complex, and sometimes less reliable than this simple 50-year-old masterpiece. Honda's CB750 didn't just start the superbike era, it redefined what a motorcycle could be. It combined power, refinement, and reliability in a way no one had done before. Number 7. The Honda CBX-1000. This is what happens when Honda engineers ask themselves, how many cylinders can we fit across a motorcycle? The answer, 6. Back in 1978, when most manufacturers thought 4 cylinders were already complicated enough, Honda built a 6-cylinder masterpiece that still leaves engineers in awe today. The CBX's 1047cc inline-6 engine was wider than some car engines, yet Honda made it work with engineering precision that bordered on genius. And the sound, nothing, and I mean nothing, sounds like a CBX at full throttle. It's like a Formula One car with handlebars. The howl of that engine at redline is pure mechanical symphony. The power delivery was equally breathtaking, smooth as silk from idle to redline, with acceleration that could embarrass many modern superbikes. The CBX wasn't just fast, it was refined, balanced, and unlike anything else on the road. Honda built the CBX not to meet a marketing goal or a price target, but to show what was possible when engineers were allowed to dream. In a world where modern bikes are designed by committees and accountants, the CBX stands as a testament to pure engineering passion. It proves that sometimes the best machines are created not by asking what's practical, but by daring to build what seems impossible. Number 6. The Suzuki RE5. This is what happens when motorcycle engineers go completely insane, in the best way possible, and try to reinvent the internal combustion engine. While every other manufacturer in the 1970s was perfecting conventional piston engines, Suzuki decided to do something radically different. They built a motorcycle powered by a rotary, or Wankel engine. The Wankel rotary was smoother than any piston engine, more compact than traditional designs, and delivered power in a way that really defied conventional wisdom. Riding the RE5 was like piloting a small turbine. The power delivery was perfectly linear, with almost no vibration, no reciprocating mass, just pure rotational smoothness. And the engineering didn't stop there. The RE5 came with futuristic features like a cylindrical instrument cluster that opened like a camera lens, liquid cooling, and build quality that honestly was absolutely top tier for its time. Suzuki proved that true innovation takes courage, the courage to question everything and try something completely new. Unfortunately, the RE5 failed commercially. It was just too complex, too expensive, and simply too far ahead of its time for most riders. But it left a powerful legacy. Suzuki showed that Japanese engineers weren't just copying Western ideas, they were reimagining what a motorcycle could be. Sometimes, the most important innovations aren't the ones that succeed, but the ones that inspire everything that comes after. Number 5. The Yamaha XS1100. This bike solved problems that modern manufacturers are still struggling with today. While everyone else was dealing with messy chain maintenance, constant adjustments, and worn-out sprockets, Yamaha simply said, "Let's eliminate the chain entirely." So they did. The XS1100 featured a shaft drive, no chain to clean, no sprockets to replace, and no tedious adjustments. Just smooth, reliable power delivery that could last tens of thousands of miles with almost zero maintenance. And then there was the engine. 1,101 cc of pure, refined torque. This inline-4 could pull like a freight train from nearly any RPM, delivering effortless acceleration and silky smooth power delivery that honestly, even many modern bikes struggle to match. Built like a tank, the XS1100 was solid, dependable, and designed to last decades, not just survive the warranty period. Yamaha proved that innovation doesn't always mean adding complexity. Sometimes, it means removing it. In fact, when it was introduced in 1978, the XS1100 was the most powerful production motorcycle on the market, yet it remained practical, comfortable, and surprisingly easy to live with. Even today, modern touring bikes are still chasing the kind of maintenance-free reliability Yamaha achieved nearly half a century ago. The XS1100 stands as a reminder that motorcycles were once built to be real transportation, not just weekend toys. Yamaha showed the world that the best engineering solutions are the ones that make problems disappear entirely. Number 4. The Kawasaki KZ1000. This is what happens when Kawasaki decides to build a motorcycle with one goal: dominate everything else on the road. The KZ1000 wasn't just fast, it was insanely fast. This bike could run quarter-mile times that even some modern superbikes struggle to match. And it achieved all of this with pure mechanical engineering. No electronic launch control, no traction control, no computer assistance, just raw power and flawless engineering. The acceleration was so violent that it could literally lift the front wheel off the ground, keeping it there until you shifted into second gear. Here's what's truly remarkable. Despite all that power, the KZ1000 was completely rideable. You could cruise comfortably to work or dominate the local drag strip with the same machine. Kawasaki proved that you don't need electronic aids to control massive power. You just need exceptional engineering and balance. Modern bikes rely heavily on computers to manage their output, but the KZ1000 put all that control squarely in the rider's hands. Today's superbikes may be faster in perfect conditions, but they're also often more fragile and less versatile than this 70s powerhouse. The KZ1000 is a reminder that sometimes the best technology is the technology you don't need. Bike 3 is the Honda GL1000 Goldwing, the luxury pioneer. You know, the original Honda GL1000 Goldwing didn't just arrive on the scene, it totally redefined what a motorcycle could be. This bike basically invented the concept of motorcycle luxury. Before the Goldwing, touring usually meant long, uncomfortable rides, but Honda said, not anymore. They built a motorcycle that was honestly more comfortable than a lot of cars out there. Its flat-4 engine was astonishingly smooth, heck, smoother than most four-wheeled vehicles. No vibration, no harshness, just pure mechanical refinement. The engineering was honestly years ahead of its time, featuring innovations that wouldn't become common until, like, decades later. Sophisticated suspension, advanced aerodynamics, and build quality that was absolutely exceptional made this bike a real benchmark in the industry. Honda proved motorcycles could be civilized without losing their soul. The Goldwing was fast, comfortable, and reliable in ways that seemed impossible back then. It actually created an entirely new market segment, luxury touring motorcycles, that didn't even exist before Honda imagined it. Even today, modern touring bikes are still chasing the level of comfort and refinement that the Goldwing achieved way back in 1975. While today's manufacturers focus on gadgets and features, Honda focused on solving real problems through fundamental engineering excellence. The GL1000 Goldwing really shows that true innovation comes from addressing needs riders didn't even know they had. Bike 2. Suzuki GS1000, the perfect balance. The Suzuki GS1000. This is the bike that proved Japanese manufacturers had finally mastered the art of motorcycle engineering. It wasn't the most powerful, nor the most revolutionary, but in every way that mattered, it was perfect. The engine delivered smooth, predictable power. The handling was intuitive, almost telepathic, and the reliability, legendary. Suzuki didn't just borrow ideas from Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha, they improved on every one of them. The GS1000 could do it all. Fast enough for the racetrack, comfortable enough for long-distance touring, and rugged enough for everyday commuting. It demonstrated that true perfection doesn't come from flashy, revolutionary technology. It comes from executing every detail flawlessly. Even today, modern manufacturers chase the idea of the perfect all-around motorcycle, yet in 1978, Suzuki had already achieved it. Modern bikes may be faster or more high-tech, but they are often more specialized, more complex, and somehow less versatile than this 40-year-old masterpiece. The GS1000 represents the pinnacle of mechanical engineering, before computers took over. Sometimes, the best bike isn't the one with the most advanced tech, it's the one that gets everything right. Bike 1. Kawasaki H2 750, the original Widowmaker. And finally, number 1. The Kawasaki H2 750. The original Widowmaker. This bike didn't just make modern motorcycles look tame, it made them look downright boring. Its two-stroke triple engine produced more power than most riders could handle. Wrapped in a package that was equal parts genius and insanity, the H2 could hit 120 miles per hour when most cars of the era couldn't break 80, but it did it with handling that was absolutely terrifying, and brakes that were basically decorative. The H2 was pure, unfiltered danger. No safety nets, no electronic aids, no forgiveness for mistakes, just raw power and the rider's skill standing between glory and disaster. Modern superbikes may be faster and safer, but they're also sanitized. The H2 demanded courage, skill, and a healthy respect for physics. Kawasaki built this bike when manufacturers cared more about performance than liability lawsuits. The H2 claimed more lives than almost any other bike of its era, but it also created legends. Today's motorcycles protect riders from themselves, but the H2 required you to become a better rider, or pay the consequences. It proves that sometimes the most dangerous bikes are also the most honest. These 12 bikes show why the 1970s were truly the golden age of Japanese motorcycle innovation. Modern bikes are faster, safer, and more reliable, but they're also more predictable, more complex, and somehow less thrilling. So, which of these 70s legends would you choose? Or do you think modern bikes actually take the crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This debate will never die. If this video made you appreciate the engineering genius of the 1970s, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got more vintage motorcycle content coming your way. Remember, sometimes the best ideas come from the craziest times. These are the 12 Japanese bikes from the 70s. Did we miss one that deserves a spot? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more motorcycle content, and as always, ride safe. See you in the next one.